we have to do something with the marketing. And all of us, what is the end goal? Basically to increase the revenue for the company. And there are a lot of ways we make it happen. And if you talk about marketing, it can be online marketing, it can be offline marketing. And a lot of things goes into this. And if you talk about effectiveness, if you talk about the overall thing which you want to achieve, the end goal often becomes that you want to increase the revenue, right? So the general business cycle goes like, you have a business, you want to make it visible to a specific type of audience, then you start doing advertising, the lead is generated, and then you make the sales happen, and finally it's done, which is the general B2B cycle which happens. If we talk about the e-commerce, the traffic comes, the product gets added, and then finally the checkout happens, right? So what happens that every time you start doing the performance marketing, which is often the paid marketing, it might be search engine ads or it might be social media ads, it cuts your budget, right? Initially, when you get started with your business, it's fine to go around it and spend a lot of money. That is what Blinkit has been doing. That is what a lot of other companies and startups have been doing. But over a period of time, what you will realize that most of your budget, in fact, more than 70% of your budget actually goes around marketing because you have to reach that. And most of this money actually goes to companies like Facebook and Google. So how do you go about it? Like, how can you optimize this cost? And this is where this topic comes in the picture, that we achieve 45 million plus traffic, especially this is targeted traffic from Google, by spending $0 on advertising. How did we do that? Did it happen in a day? No, it didn't. So let's go and first of all, let me ask you that how many of you actually do SEO and inbound content regularly for your business? Can you raise your hand? Interesting. And how many of you do paid marketing regularly? Right. And interesting. So my goal here would be that I would like to show you that how some of the big giants, either let be it e-commerce or let be it B2B companies, how these people look at marketing and how they think long term, and their manners to cut the cost, overall cost of marketing, and they become profitable. And over a period of time, when you go and see, you will find out that less than 10% of the traffic which they receive is actually paid, and more than 90% of the traffic which they receive is actually organic. So let's take a very small example of Amazon and Flipkart. Now, Flipkart started in 2007, Amazon came around 2013 in India, but if you go and see the traffic, you'll find out that more than 238 million traffic is driven to Amazon, and around 180 million is driven to Flipkart, right? So and this traffic which I'm talking about is organic traffic. This is the free traffic which they receive. And if you'd like to go and see the paid traffic percentage, whenever you search for purses or you search for laptops on Google, that's the paid marketing part. If you talk about the percentage, less than 5% of the traffic they receive is actually paid. So the way they basically go is they go basically around building the whole system, building the whole plan, and then they go on the execution, on the long-term execution. The plan itself is not a very big deal. One can plan it, but the execution becomes a challenge when you talk about content. And especially in the terms, especially right now, a very big confusion is happening in people, that they think that because they have got ChatGPT, they can generate infinite amount of content. And when they do that, they feel very happy that now I have the content, I will get the same result how other companies are getting. But when they go inside the system, they find out that Google and other search engines have a system of detecting this AI-generated content, and a lot goes on the content generation rather than just textual content generation. So my name is Rana Jayant, and I'm a growth consultant and founder of Mix Commerce. Mix Commerce is a SaaS company which started 1 year ago, and before this, we have StableX as technology consulting company. We basically help SMBs building their technology and market them. So a lot of things we learned from StableX, we are now productizing in Mix Commerce. StableX is still running as a consulting company, and Mix Commerce is slowly getting towards the SaaS, where all the marketing products you will be having, in a single umbrella. Okay, so these are some of the companies we have worked in the past, which includes Amazon, BMW, And a lot of small businesses, a lot of security companies as well. And there we have worked with 50 plus clients. And the traffic which I told you, 45 plus million in terms of organic, has been the accumulation, like the total traffic which we have generated through our SEO content and blog articles. So as earlier we were discussing about why not social media, why just SEO? Well, we do social media, but we do only for the limited part. The reason why we focus mostly on search, because search is often driven by intent. When you go on Google, when you search for something, you have this intention clear that, hey, I'm looking for iPhone 12 or iPhone 14. I'm clear, maybe I want to purchase a mobile phone. The intention is clear. But when you talk about social media marketing, what happens that you are just scrolling it out, and then and the next ad comes up. And that's the reason why it often doesn't become effective. So we as a company have a thesis of being clear on what we want to achieve, and we often work on the existing demand side and getting that position first than going and spending a lot of money on ads. And that is where SEO comes in the picture, and that is where a lot of targeted traffic come in the picture. So talking about a simple example, if you search for Hindi recipe right now on Google, you will find us ranking on number 1. And it has been happening for quite a long time, almost 4 years. Who are the competitors for this keyword? Well, there is NDTV. You know NDTV as a news publishing company. But what you might not have been knowing is NDTV, India Times, all these companies invest a lot of money on long-term content, which is evergreen content in terms of recipes and all. And almost 60% of the traffic which they receive is often this traffic. These people have a lot of resources. You talk about maybe more than 1,500 employees, and a lot of them curate content for this. And it has been 4 years, we as a small medium business, having the client, we have been ranking there for number 1 position. And despite having all these resources which they have, which they can invest on backlink, or you talk about content, or you talk about technology, they have not managed to outrank us. So if you have been thinking that, hey, you need a lot of funds to crack this out, maybe you need to rethink that. Maybe you need to define, and you need to talk with someone who actually understands that space, understands the user, and then creates a plan of doing a lot of A/B tests, finding out what works, and gaining the authority on that position. So that's something which is very, very important. Okay, so this is basically my journey. I'm a computer science engineer who became marketer because I was interested in the topic. It started from a technology blog where I wrote how to get GeoSIM, and it went viral, and I made my very first $963 with that. And I took that money and showed my friends that I got money, right? And they were interested in working with me. So I purchased 2 second-hand laptops for them, and we started working from digital library to build the content, started 5 sites. Eventually what happened that we got enough money for our clothing and general expenses, but it didn't go beyond. So by 4th year, I had to work somewhere. So I joined this company called Shoot Order as a business developer. And the reason why they chosen me, because they felt that I can be a good asset to the company, because I had all these technical things clear about marketing since I was doing from the college. So in 8 months, I joined them as a business developer, suddenly became a product manager, and then I became research and developer, who was playing with a lot of domains and finding out that what will work, what will make this website or web page rank on Google, what will make this answer rank on Quora, because Quora has a lot of answers, right? Why certain answers actually go on the top. So that was my job, and I went around hiring 22 interns to make it happen. And we did a lot of massive research and development there, and gave result to the company. Unfortunately, company was they didn't scale, and there was an issue here. My stipend here was around 8,000 rupees. I was not working there for money, but I was working there for the early authority have got to do a lot of expansion. And they did scale on a couple of things, but they did not do, and I was not seeing a vision. So this is where StableX came in the picture, that hey, if I want to do massive results, and if I want to scale that, because I feel valuable, I will have to start a company. And that is where StableX came in the picture. So StableX started after 7 months of quitting Shoot Order. I get a call from a Shoot Order employee saying that, hey, Rana, congratulations on starting your new company. And I was like, oh, how do you know that? Like, no, just playing out, because we are now competitors in the local market, right? How do you know that? And it turned out that they got to know that I started it and I was ranking for the keyword digital marketing agency in Hyderabad on the second position, and they were ranking on the first. So they told me that, and I got to know about it. And finally, what happened that, they got to know, and I was like, yeah, sure, I have been doing that, and yes, it has been going quite well. So having 22,000 rupees at the time when I quit my job to making the website rank without having any employee, building the whole tech and making it rank, it didn't take a lot of time. So if you have been thinking that it takes a lot of money and resources and funds to make this stuff happen, not really. You just need to have the right likely talent and mindset there and set of work which has to be executed, and it is very much possible to do with very limited resources. These are some of the slides which we already talked about. So this is basically the general analysis. The blue lines which you see here is the organic traffic which this company receives, and the red ones which you see at the bottom is the paid marketing spend which they have done. So you see that, this company, either you talk about Flipkart or you talk about Amazon or you talk about HubSpot, all of this have a lot of traffic coming in from organic. And this is what the goal should be, right? Now, can you simply implement it in your company? Can you have 3-4 people working in the company, and can you just achieve that? Well, it is hard. It's not that easy that you can define it. We at StableX basically define this in 3 layers. One, if you want to sell your product or service, the very first thing which your customer will likely do after you call them is they will search your business name on Google. So the very first layer of authority which you have to build is you rank for your business keywords, because it does, a lot of people do not know this stuff. A lot of, I talk about, if I talk about Shark Tank startup, which had a very complex name, they didn't have any search volume despite they went to, Shark Tank. So these were the issues. Don't have any complex name, rank for your branded keyword, which is the very first requirement which one should fulfill. The second thing is rank for your core services. If you're HubSpot, rank for CRM. Rank for sales, and if you are very specific to your audience, then you talk about CRM for small businesses. You go niche on that, and once you go niche, your competition will be quite lesser. You will have very next set of action what to do, and with limited number of resources, you will be able to execute on the top of that. And finally, you will see some result because you are working on simple set of work which has to be defined. So, okay, it got pasted. Yeah, so this is this is basically the pattern which you will see among all of this. Can you tell me what kind of pattern do you see here?
The paid traffic is less than 10%.
Yeah, and you often see in the previous slides that the effort they have kept on content creation has been consistent. They did not just publish one blog because Neil Patel was talking about that one long blog post is there. What these people have done is they have done all the research. They have done all the research even before ChatGPT came in the picture. Now the research is even easier because of ChatGPT. You can list down all 1,000 topics and divide into layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. And then you can give this to your content team as well as SEO team, and this should be executed. There is no about it. There shouldn't be any question that what article should be written next month for the SEO part. Of course, you have company updates and all which you can absolutely publish, but when you think about scalable content like this or scalable content system like this, everything should be defined, and you shouldn't just rank for one keyword. You should rather list down all 1,000 articles and go big on that, and then over a period of time you will see that low competitive keywords will start to come up. The competitive ones will take time, but because the low competition is going up, Google will start trusting your business more and more. And with interlinking, with a lot of authority from the third party, you'll find out that the authority for your business has started growing up, and you'll start ranking for the high competition keywords as well. I hope I'm making sense still here.
Am I? Just explain this last point. I really like this. I just want to understand this last point that you said, how
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So let's say that SEO is a concept, search engine optimization. There are millions of businesses who want to rank for it. Less than 10% of them take action. Now, some of them will be very, very good in terms of authority. Authority is basically the strength they have for the website. And it doesn't mean that if they are high in authority, they have covered everything, right? Let's say that HubSpot is a CRM company, so they are ranking for the keyword CRM for businesses, right? Now, if you are a company who is planning to become CRM for travel industry, then CRM for travel industry should be the very first keyword you should be ranking for. Of course, apart from brands, right? Now, here you are being industry specific. Maybe HubSpot has not targeted that. You can check that by going on Google. So you list down all of these. And as we were talking about the whole content plan, 1,000 articles, in this you will have CRM for travel industry, CRM for manufacturing industry, all these articles you'll be writing, right? So what you will see is you may not rank immediately for CRM for business, but you'll start ranking for these keywords because you are going niche specific. And once you start ranking for that, Google will trust you that you have the authority to talk about CRM. So at that point of time, you can start competing for the main keyword, which is basically CRM for business. So,
I have a question, sorry.
sure, please.
So, for example, you're mentioning about the paid search and organic search metrics here. How much it is relevant that the paid search actually, pushes organic search? So, I'll tell you, for example, I'm taking the example of Amazon. Okay, they are very high on sponsored ads. In Google, put any category of any product, Amazon will reflect over there. I may not go through that particular link because it's an established brand. I may directly end up on an Amazon website. I don't know, okay, they're anyways coming, I'll go there. It happens with almost all top 100 brands. That's an established fact. That, at the moment you go ahead and push your paid strategy, your organic traffic grows. So, would you have any thoughts there?
If I can just say, thanks a lot for bringing that point. Honestly, if I have to just put a hard number to it, 8 to 10% is a usual incremental search traffic, organic, that actually comes if brands are investing on the other channels, specific to Google. If I have to put it, let's say someone's investing on YouTube, discovery or display campaigns beyond the search realm, then there's an 8 to 10% incremental traffic is something that you can definitely expect.
Yeah, but is that for brands across, for at least SMBs? I think for me, whatever the like-to-like competition benchmarking we do, it almost is at around 80 to 20%.
Then that's the minimum, but I would
So the
allow the
moment
expert to
I
say
push my paid search traffic, organic and
Kaushik
direct
is from
traffic.
Google. He can, he's driving that on a day-to-day
Yeah.
basis.
So is
Kaushik.
that the average now, right?
yeah, on
What
an,
you're talking about?
bare minimum is 8 to 10,
Yeah.
but on an average, like if you're seeing 20%, that's great. But again, I would
Yeah,
allow
of course. With
the
Amazon,
specific
even 8% is.
I would actually request Kaushik to rank all of our website. We just don't want to work hard this much. Yeah. Okay. So,
How many? Like, I think that's what.
sure. So see.
Amazon are maybe not the relevant.
Sure. So, often this case, we had an edtech company. I talked about two companies, but in between, we have done a lot of things in between. We have been trying and testing a lot of things. There was a company named HighCoder, which was an edtech company, which we started as diversification process. We were not running search ads. Why? It is so expensive. We didn't have that much money. What we started doing was we were doing Instagram marketing and we were creating authority. Like, your authority appears in your design. Your authority appears in your content, what you are talking about. And we did that well. And after the lead was being generated, they were getting call from our sales team. What was happening after this call was happening? We were seeing that there was traffic coming from Google. So why this was happening? This was happening because our sales team was calling them and these people trusted Google. They didn't trust their mother. Maybe, of course, they won't trust their mother because they're getting a call from maybe Bangalore. They wanted to know what this company does, right? Is this genuine? Is this review? So when you talk about this thing, like, when you talk about that, how much it impacts, well, you have to see that what kind of landing page you have. You can't just expect your branded, keyword to go up just by having a textual content on the web page. If you have video where they're spending time and where they're getting the conviction that maybe I want to buy, but first I want to verify, right? This is where your branded search increases, right?
That's a secondary step. I'm only talking about first push of traffic.
Right.
landing page, video is all like,
Yes,
it
yes.
is a follow-up thing. After
It's a
traffic
follow.
has ended. So I'm saying if I say the paid search traffic is zero here, if my spends are zero,
Okay.
what would be my organic traffic growth?
It absolutely worth what you are ranking for, right? Let's say that we are running ads on digital marketing agency in Hyderabad, right? Let's say we don't have any organic traffic. Now, there is no value for the organic traffic here. But even though if I'm not running ads and I'm ranking number one below those ads, that value is very valuable for me, right? Because it's not about the traffic which you are receiving, it's the intent which they are coming for. So if they are coming for a money-oriented keyword or commercial keyword, of course that value will be very, very higher. And you should definitely target those keywords which have this high intent. Once your high commercial content is done, which comes on the second layer, then you go on the third layer, which audience would likely come to my blog and would see my branding. You can also say it as first view, right? Because all the time you don't want to sell. For example, if you talk about Dettol or Surf Excel, these companies rank for their keywords in around cloth cleaning and all. They are not really selling that. But what happens here is once you come and visit, oh, Surf Excel has a website as well. They are giving a kind of step-by-step procedure how to clean it. So what happens that you gain authority towards the brand, and the way to deal with it is first you divide in the layer one, you talk about branding, rank for your branded keywords, second one commercial, and on the third you define that what could be the other content which will bring the same audience to my website. So it depends on what keyword you are ranking for, and that defines the value.
What we did in our business is for nearly about 35% of our targeted keywords, we are in the first page of Google. Those keywords where we could not be in the first pages, we substantiate or fill the gaps with paid ads. So if it is showing somebody else and not us, then might as well grab that opportunity, put in some dollars, and be on that paid ad category. That is
Yes.
a long-term sort of a strategy to be visible. Do not want to miss out on the opportunity. That is how we sort of that.
In fact,
Yeah, that's what.
So we have to understand that part as well. Not every industry will have the same parameters what they are showing.
right. So
Where is showing it?
in fact, you might have seen many times that when you search for branded keywords, the branded keyword, like the branded website actually ranks in organic, but they still want to advertise and take that position. And that is basically to improve their CTR. They don't care about the money which they are spending, they just want more clicks, and that's the focus because that brings them business. So just to take more space, they focus that way and it works quite well. Another way to optimize your optimize your quality of conversion is basically by even before you start doing SEO. If you have limited resources, what you can do is you can run paid ads initially, and you try to convert those people, you convert that audience and then find out that which keywords or which landing pages are actually converting, and that way you can specifically prioritize those commercial keywords first, and then you can put other keywords in second and third layer, and that way you will be able to optimize this. We use this strategy for money conscious businesses who do not have a lot of resources, and it works quite well that way.
So a very quick question here. So when you say let's go for a paid one service first and then you are coming back to your organic, don't you feel so then again it will drop down?
It will drop down, but by this time you know that which keywords are actually converting. So there is another way where we do this. We take over. So what we do is we start with paid marketing and we continue to do this paid marketing, and we start with our organic process. And organic often takes time, so it slowly and slowly comes up. So what we do is we make this triangular format where we reduce our expenses towards the paid marketing slowly, and we try to increase the traffic here organically, and this way it levels up. And even when we start ranking, our suggestions is always to go for the layer 2 and layer 3, keywords as well, because you are going to own that audience, just like how HubSpot has been doing. HubSpot is a CRM company, but if you search for lead extractor Chrome extension, these people rank there because those leads will likely go in the CRM. They are not looking for CRM products, but what happens here is they are still going to likely end up knowing that there is something called HubSpot, and second time when HubSpot salespeople call them, then they will be interested. Oh, I know about HubSpot. I have downloaded a PDF and all this thing. So a lot of things happens, and if you have resources, you should invest in this. if you talk about the pricing of PPC is it will burn your pockets like anything. If you talk about organic, every click which you are getting is for free. You have just invested in your content and it is coming again and again. You are getting the clicks again and again. But when you talk about paid, you have invested in your content, you have invested in hi-fi fancy things, as well as the 90% of expenses will be actually paid ads. So that becomes a very problem.
So HubSpot has been really phenomenal in terms of
Speak with you, yeah. It's very, but B2B, we just need to understand how we can work for.
I have a lot of feedback for this event.
how to content. HubSpot is really great at that. Every marketer, irrespective of how many years of experience they have, they're always trying to find that how to, how to get into, how to use a tool, how to understand a function, and so on and so forth.
We have also planned very, very similar, or you can say that this is the way to do. So we are not really copying HubSpot, but HubSpot is doing everything which they want to, right? And we understand that very clearly. So we will not just be going on content and slowing there. We are also going for the invoice generation software, because invoice generation software has something to do with, again, CRM on second and third level. So once we target our branded keywords, we'll go on the product keywords, and then we go on third level, and then there will be fourth level as well. So we will do this, and there is something to be cautious about, which I will talk about now. Everyone is saying ChatGPT, right? Google got scared. Google came up with Bard. Now here is an analysis which I'm not sure if you have thought about. Likely you have not. Google was likely waiting for this to happen. And if they were not waiting, it is actually one of the way it is very good for them. What they are doing right now is, if you talk about US traffic, they are showing the 4 ads on the top, then they are showing Google Bard, and then they are showing the organic result. And they decrease the number from 10 to 9 now. And after 9, there is another 4 ads, right? And if you see the alignment of the content, strategically they have designed more space for the ads. Although it is presenting the same information, they have increased the spacing for that, so that if it is visible more, people will end up clicking on that. So what happens on the very first fold, for a lot of keywords, you will find out that till here, you will have ads. So what happens the first time internet user, or a lot of people who do not know ads, they think that this is the organic result and they end up clicking on that. So these are the strategies, these are some of the strategies, very small strategies Google uses to improve and increase the CTR. And after ads, if you are seeing Google Bard, you'll be like, I now know enough about this. You know what? I'm going back to the ads and then I'm going to click on that. So this is what has been happening, and you will see this, if you analyze the traffic of top 100 websites, what you'll find out that search traffic is decreasing slowly and slowly. So this is happening because of Bard. Also, Google has strategically placed, although they never claim this to be this way, but Google often places their product first. For example, if you talk about analytics, if you go and search for analytics, there are many analytics companies which have their product that are available to be used, but you will often see that Google Analytics will be ranking first, then Google Analytics documentation will be ranking, and then there are a lot of other things which will be product of Google itself which will be ranking. Other products if you talk about Adobe Analytics, or you talk about Motomo, or you talk about many other analytics softwares, you'll find out that they are not coming on the first page. So first time when someone is coming, this joke, if you want to hide a dead body, hide on the second page of Google. And here you have the top of ads, and then you have ChatGPT explanation or Google Bard explanation, then you have organic. And that organic is also from Google for the product Google has. And finally, what happens that the other competitors who are in the space will be likely on the second page where people will not quite visit. So
that is exactly why they have run into the competition issues in Europe. Right?
They have been running, but what is there? They want to win the business. That case will go for maybe 2 years, 3 years. They are already winning the market. They wanted data, behavioral data of people. If not Google Analytics, they are going to take it by Chrome. If not Chrome, they are going to take it by Android. Where will you go? So basically the point is, it's a kind of whole system which is built to collect the data, and the end result is basically, for Google, it is money, which they don't claim, but that is what it is, because you are seeing ads more and more now. On YouTube also you see the forces happening that you can't use an ad blocker and all this. So yeah. So while you talk about search engine optimization, and while you see chat GPT, a lot of thoughts will come a lot of thoughts will come that, hey, why can't we generate a lot of content? No, don't. Curate smaller pieces of content, curate long form content, but make sure that you don't end up spamming the whole website, because Google knows that if you are publishing 10 articles in a single day, that's kind of anti-pattern. You are using images from Google, you are not producing your own image, that's a problem. So the way you should look at it is keep it as natural you can. Use your own photo. If you have a beautiful if you have a beautiful photo from stock photo, and if you have an average photo of your company, put that average photo first. Why? Because it actually tells Google that this is real, this is authentic, right? So we have been building a product called Mix Photos, which is basically an alternate to Pexels. Pexels is a free, royalty-free website where you can get photos. We have been building Mix Photos, where we are putting a lot of Indian photos where businesses can use. We have strategically placed a line for mixed commerce, but for the end user, the benefit is that you will get Indian images for free without paying any money. So that's the thing.
Just a quick question. When you talk about videos and using, let's say, your picture or Indian pictures you are using,
right?
Today we have AI in place and we generate a lot of videos using AI as a platform. So what is the visibility if we are talking with respect to, let's say, YouTube videos?
See,
views and all should drop down according to that fundamental, if let's say I'm not using my pictures in that.
So basically what happens that the end delivery Google wants to deliver to people is value and the trust, right? If they fail to deliver that, people will have different thoughts about Google's product. Maybe a competitor will come in the picture, although it will take a lot of effort to make that happen. So Google always focuses on the end side, which is like keeping the user engagement good. So because of this, you will see some even AI generated videos have got popular if the content is good, and you will see a lot of YouTubers having just 10 views or 100 views because their content is not good. So if you keep the end goal, which is curating good quality content, and good quality content will often take time. So rather than thinking that, hey, now I got AI, let me publish 100 videos in a day, think about just publishing one video in 3 days, and that's fine. Now you focus on local listing, now you focus on social media, now you focus on other things rather than just going big or absolutely blunt on this. This way, what Google feels, Google tracks everything, right? Even social media as well. So this way they will feel that this business is real, and as you want to increase it, what you do is you slowly accelerate the process, slowly and slowly, rather than just going here, you slowly accelerate the process, and that will give a very natural view to Google. And in this way, you have very higher chances of success rather than going all blunt on this.
So on a rough note, when you talk about proportionate or the visibility side to videos, what is the proportionate ratio you are talking about? Let's say I create a video by using AI, and I simply just post some video of 10 minutes, because usually in YouTube we have 10 minutes and shorts, right?
Okay.
So let's say I create a video for 10 minutes, which is original, no editing, nothing as such.
Okay.
Another I create with AI, taking clips from here and there, try to make it a high tech, and just put both of them. Which one you feel will have a high visibility chances here?
It depends on the type of content. If the content is same in both and same delivery we are making, the chances of sustainable long-term growth will be the first one, the original content one.
Organic you are talking about?
Yeah, of course. No, both are organic itself, right? You talk about self-content generation or you talk about AI content generation. So when you talk about self is sustainable because maybe there might be one thing or two which Google has not fixed in its AI, but going forward they will fix it and they will ban you. Or they will not even tell you that you are banned, they will just shadow ban you, which you often don't get to know. So in these cases, the end value which you see should be you think about long term and then you try to grow through that. The other thing around AI is an industry like recipe, right? Let's say I'm talking about chicken biryani Andhra side recipe. Would you trust an AI for the recipe and will you make that?
Maybe, may not be, to be very honest at the moment.
Because we are talking about authenticity here, proper chicken biryani from Andhra. How an AI knows that that is from there? But the way you would likely.
There is a lot of training that is done. Right? There will be some kind of a backbone to support it.
See, training is done on biryani. Training is not very much done on the Andhra side specific chicken biryani. You want a person likely to be there who shows his face and likely tells you that this is my story and this is how I make chicken biryani, right? So at this point of time, in certain contexts, what you see is like, people trust people's content more than the AI generated content. And it's not just because of content, it's also because of the authenticity. I want to enjoy Andhra side, so I really enjoy if I see an Andhra side person who is actually cooking that, or likely talking Telugu, which you understand or you don't, but you will have that feeling, and that is why you go to authentic restaurants, right? So you have to see that where you should use AI or where you shouldn't. So today, we don't use AI much in SEO content generation. But if you talk about newsletter, which is sent on email, or you talk about a PDF which is generated, we can use AI there because SEO has nothing to do with that. In terms of SEO, we use for microdata generation, which is a schema, or you talk about description generation, which is on the Google snippet, or you talk about other factors which doesn't affect the original content. We still like to write the content by our own hands. We can get some overview, we can get some bullet point from that, we can get some table from that. But when you talk about original content, we still like to write by our own because we have learned enough by AI content. We have lost a lot of websites around it.
I have to add one thing.
Sure.
Like when ma'am asked AI generated videos and then the in-person videos. For example, in our context, if you go to see, okay, we make podcast, okay, and then if AI generated, I can ask ChatGPT to have a conversation of me and Kunal Shah sitting, okay, and the AI generated images and animation videos, I can create a podcast in 10 minutes, okay. Will you watch a video of animated and the scripted Kunal Shah and my conversation, or you like to watch in person I taking a podcast with Kunal Shah?
See, that depends. Because see, I might not be every time in the mood of watching something real. Now he's talking about, let's say, biryani as a very good example. Let's say on YouTube today we have a lot of people who have shot their original videos serving, let's say, Hyderabadi biryani. Let's take for one simple context. And if I'm a new YouTuber who wants to create the same recipe using an AI, I can do that. Nobody is going to stop me. But eventually, how it makes a difference to you, like if my ranking has to be there or somebody who is with the original content has to be there, how you are going to leverage that?
Your question is that if someone is ranking with AI and
Exactly, because see, it's not my original recipe. I copied it, I used technology, integrated, and just posted.
that Google will take care of. We don't have to worry about it. Google will go deep around that what words you are using. They will do they will do all the connection, because if you are a North Indian and you are claiming that you are cooking Andhra biryani, you likely do not know that chicken mukkulu is chicken piece, right? That mukkulu will get converted into Telugu, and that will make a contextual relationship here that this person actually talks this. Also, their accent is different. So when you talk on a video, they will basically filter it out. They will annotate it and they will find it out that, okay, this person is actually not like this person is like this. Maybe initially you can get views, but the thing here is the reason why you go to Andhra restaurant, because you want to enjoy Andhra. You don't want AI Andhra. Because
Are you trying to say demographics play a vital role here?
yes, AI Andhra.
AI Andhra is another word.
Yeah. Sure, I will take the credit. Sure. Okay, let's take it forward. Yeah. Right. So, sure. So as we discussed about it, it's not any traffic, it's targeted traffic for specific keyword. It's right website where you are sending that traffic, and then the most important part is the end sales, which either might be B2B or B2C, right? So what's the process? Well, this is what the typical process looks like. That even before you go about SEO, find out that is your customer on Google? Are they searching for it? Or you are just thinking that, hey, maybe they are searching, and then you are going big on that and wasted all the money on content curation. Because a lot of new products often require social media. And when I talk about new products, I'm not talking about the generic things like CRM. CRM has been in existence for almost 20 years or more, right? So CRM is known to everyone. But if you talk about let's say maybe Tulsi water bottle, right? Tulsi water bottle will have lower search volume because people do not consume it regularly. So in this case, you may need to take the social media strategy and then you need to market that, right? So very first thing is do the audience research. Then you should do the keyword research. Yes, they are on Google now. Which keywords they are searching for? Divide your keyword into layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. and then go and do the resource analysis. How much money do you have? How much content you can put in the place? What part of the whole process you can give to AI? What part of the process is mandatory to have person, right? And this way you can do a lot of cost optimization. For example, as I was talking about content you can't give to AI and get it written because there are issues with that. Of course, you can get the other things like newsletter and all these things, but when you talk about search, you define that these many number of people and writers I would require, this much of authenticity I would require, and all the relationship which is focused to your business. After you do resource analysis, then you do the tech planning. To execute this, do I need to go a custom website or a WordPress website is fine, or a Shopify website is fine? Because often this new entrepreneurs, they come and what they say, we want React. React.js is a technology which is very hot in the tech industry, and they want React.js. What eventually happens that to build 3 pages, they take 3 months and still that is not responsive. It's one of the worst way, in fact, to waste your time as well as money, right? So what you do is you take the existing CMS, something like WordPress, Joomla, Drupal. You have many open source available. If you want to go on SaaS, you can go for Shopify and others, and then you can choose something like that. So tech is done, website is done. In tech, I'm talking about the website as well as the blog. Once that is done, then you go on content planning. That yes, my website is done, my blog is done, the tech is ready. Now what content to publish? What is what is the layer 1 content? What is layer 2 content? What is layer 3? Which one to prioritize first? And how we are going to interlink them together so that the customer who is coming from search will have a very flawless experience till the sales, right? Because if you just rank for a keyword, they can read the article. But what is the next thing which will push them towards the sales, right? So all these journeys has to be planned. And once you plan this journey, you will see more and more commercial value coming from the whole process which you'll be doing, rather than compared to just ranking for that specific keyword, right? So content planning, scaling the content, which is again around content planning, that once you have ranked for your layer 1, layer 2, how do you go big about 1,000 articles or 3,000 articles? How do you go on publishing articles on your website versus publishing articles on others' website to build authority? All these things comes in the picture. Then you talk about on-page SEO, off-page SEO. On-page SEO is basically doing things on your website to make it rank higher, which is often optimizing the content, adding call to action button, which is basically related to conversion optimization, then putting the right heading tags, putting the right schema, optimizing the image so that it can load properly on the mobile phone, and so on and so forth, right? Again, off-page SEO goes around building social authority, telling Google that, hey, Google, I am offering this service, and there are also 100 other people who are offering this service, or 1,000 people. But you know what? I'm the most accurate and authoritative person or the website to be ranked on this position, right? Now, as simple as I said, it can't be done like this. You have to do a lot of stuff, building authority, going on other website, publishing content, and telling him that mention my website link, that I got this Andhra recipe from here, or maybe Andhra masala from here, and this is tasty. So it goes a lot around getting that reference done, which might be another recipe website, which might be an influencer, which might be many other things which will come in the picture, which builds authority for this. And then you go to the part where you monitor it, that if I have done this, what happened? Did my organic value increase? Did my search volume increase? Did my conversion increase? And doing all this monitoring is important, and it helps you. So as this was the typical process, do not expect this to go all the way the right thing for you. So for us, on one of the websites where we drove around 7.5 million traffic, what happened that we skipped a couple of steps in the first one. We kind of knew that it's a big niche, and we know that there is a lot of traffic in this. So we did not do a lot of audience research because we know that people are searching for that. We saw the search volume. So we went directly ahead with a lot of content curation. And what eventually happened, which I discussed already earlier, all the keywords for which there was not a lot of competition, they started coming up. Slowly, authority started building up. And then we started ranking for the major keyword for which a lot of big businesses, including Wikipedia and Amazon, was not able to rank for those. So it's a process, and it happens. Okay. So these are some of the results. This is from a consumer site which we achieved, and you can see that our total click is 1.12 million impression. We have seen impression in billions as well, and average CTR 1.4. We have been seeing quite decrease in CTR, especially after Bard has come in the picture, because they are taking the space, and the lower your ranks are, the less clicks you will get. So that has definitely affected us. So it is affecting throughout the industry, and this is from a B2B website. It's I can't take the name for XYZ reasons, but this is from a B2B website. This website has 4 pages earlier before they came to us. And when we started visiting those pages, by 3rd page, you were not knowing that what that company sells. It was all motivational quotes that we are happy with our customers, we value our customers, but it did not tell till 3rd page that what exactly they sell, right? And they were not getting any traffic. So we redefined the whole website architecture, and we curated content from scratch. And without making it complex, we made it very simple for the users to come. And this is what happened. Since these many years, they had nothing. And after we slowly started doing the stuff, the website went up. There was some trending traffic after they sent email to all their customers that we have a new website. And then eventually you saw that the traffic was coming in. Yeah.
In this graph, if you can just let me know what is the y-axis, like what are we depicting here?
So this is the traffic, and this is the timeline. Yeah. Right. And how to proceed? Can you just have 2-3 people doing it? No, you actually need to define and build the mindset around it that the company wants to achieve it. You as a single person, you can go and shout on management, they won't listen to you. You need to showcase that how these companies have valued it. You need to show that how this is very different from performance marketing, because often this happens that a client gets signed up and they expect results like Instagram marketing. They expect results like PPC, that, hey, I have given you 1 lakh rupee for running ads or marketing. Did you get traffic? No, sir, we haven't, because you are doing SEO. SEO takes more than 3 months to even see that incremental growth, right? So you have to educate your management about this, that this is not performance marketing, this is long-term focused marketing, and you need to wait for this. And over a period of time, this will take over the company's overall traffic, and it will be more than 90%, and your paid traffic will be lesser. So it's very, very important. Next thing is budget. You need to calculate the budget almost decently. People, technology, performance improvement. I think I talked about most of this. How will you do? You can do it yourself, which is not really recommended, because you will end up wasting a lot of time. Freelancer, sure, if you don't have enough resources. Agency, if you have enough resources, more than freelancer resource. And internal team, if you have enough resource, right? Then these are the tools. If you want to take maybe a photo of this, you can use this. These are free enough tools which you can use. You can use these tools for So once that is done, always remember that the end goal is often the sales, right? So initially when you get started, the paid marketing will be bigger, organic will be lesser, but as you go forward, your leads pipeline will always work, and you have to go towards this, where your organic increases and you don't give up in between. Then that's all it is. That's all it is for now. If you have any question, you can ask me. I have something more for you, which I would like to show you. As I was talking about on-page SEO and off-page SEO, I have a document which you can download it. Of course, in every event it happens that I will send you on mail, but you never send, you never get. So I have a QR code. It redirects you to my website from where you can actually download it. If you're facing in scanning, you can just go to ranajayant.com/slides, or you can just search my name and you'll get it there, Rana Jayant on Google. Yeah, that's my business card as well. Yeah. As I'm talking about $0 marketing, right? Please open your Chrome and search Rana Jayant, so that I can give my business card to you for free, because you have all the phone number, LinkedIn requests. So I would be very much happy to connect with all of you. And yeah, I guess this is it. I hope so. Yeah. So this is.
Thank you for
Thank
the
you
lovely
very much.
presentation. I think, yeah, the morning is going on very well. And
Oh,
this
I
is
hope that you
another-
enjoyed it. Feel free to connect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rana. So guys, about the time, I'll tell you, it's